This is the one with K9!
Naked Doctor!
Captain Beefcake!
Human Time Lord Meta Crisis!
And Curling with Daleks.
It's called Journey's End.
Here we go! We're still on our endless voyage.
All through time and all through space.
With Sabine and Angels now.
Dalek, Cybers, Uden, wow!
Tennant, Smith and Eccleston.
And Capaldi, he's the man.
Doctor Who is cool again.
That was Russell's master plan. Who back when?
Reviewing all new Who there is.
Who back when?
Subscribe and rate on iTunes, please. Rose and Donna, Amy Pond, Rory, Martha and beyond. Join us on this odyssey. What other choice could there be but Who back when?
Who back when?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Who Back When, a Doctor Who podcast.
Or Doc Past.
Be hilarious!
Well, you better be hilarious for the next hour or so, because we're reviewing Journey's End, N055.
That's right, which, by the way, now ties New Who with Classic Who on Who Back When.
Ooh.
That's right.
Caught them up.
So there will be nothing but New Who's!
I've got a bone to pick with that statement in this episode, by the way.
Okay.
Anyway, we haven't even got there yet.
I have a counter to your bone.
Oh.
Blimey, that sounds...
Drew, could you leave the room for a moment?
While I leave the room, do you want to do a B scale?
Let's do that. Time for us to synopsize.
Slurpify and summarize.
So take a view
And grab a brew.
and listen to this overview, this free-for-all.
We like to call a bite-sized chunk of Who.
Bite-sized chunk of Who.
Everyone survives last week's cliffhanger as the Doctor takes his uncontrollable profusion of regenerative energy and directs it precisely at his glove compartment.
Martha teleports to an ominous-looking castle in Germany, whence to destroy the world. Meanwhile, everyone else, including all of the companions who didn't get to feature in Part 1, head to the Crucible.
Except, of course, for Gwen and Yanto, who are busy fingering a bullet time effect, and Luke and K9, who are just hanging out. Also, Donna's hearing heartbeats, which is bloody weird.
Ba-bum.
Be scout over, you are welcome. Yeah.
Aren't you just? So, we open with a recap of last episode. Will there be an explosion so big this week Rose has to turn around and look at it, or is that impossible? Where is Reggie Yates?
Oh, yeah.
So many questions being asked, but I have a genuine question to start off with.
Oh, go for it.
Which concerns our main villain this week, Davros. Where are you supposed to look at on his face?
You mean which eye to gaze at?
Yeah, as in his hollow eye sockets or the glowing blue effect on his forehead that often is cut off by the camera.
Oh.
Because I was looking at the directing during this episode, increasingly going, well, I can't be supposed to look up there, but that's where he's seeing from, right?
Yeah, so because his... I always look at his eye sockets, but yeah, you're right, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
I guess we should be looking at him in the eye.
Are we being dreadfully rude
Really?
by just staring at his
Terribly.
empty eye sockets?
Well, we're not as rude as the director.
That's
who's
true.
Just cropping it entirely. And, I don't know, it distracted me during this episode. I'm not used to looking at Davros. I haven't for a while. It's strange. They should know what they're doing.
I'm sure we're going to encounter the history of the third eye in Classic Who at some point.
Does he not have a third eye in the beginning then?
I mean, I'm assuming that it's like an augmentation, like some sort of weird technological thingamajiggy that he's added.
Yeah, because when we meet him as a little boy on a battlefield, he's just a little boy.
Yeah,
He's
true.
exactly. He's like a regular humanoid, and now, yeah.
I
good
guess
point.
it's emulating the Daleks, like, eye stalks.
Yeah,
But,
that's
Yeah.
probably exactly what it is.
He's like the scientist who drank the stuff
Kool-Aid.
that gave him the stomach ulcer to prove that it was caused by bacteria. He drank a stomach ulcer. He drank bacteria to prove that it's caused by stomach ulcer, except his was so he could take over the world with
You're right, that's a
killing machines.
perfect analogy. That's exactly how it happened.
Self-experimentation is what I was trying to get around to.
there we go. The last episode was so tense. It's like, everybody's
Yeah.
gonna die. There's no possible way to get out of this. The Doctor Who's regenerating.
And
What's gonna
literally
happen?
nothing.
Within the first minute, all of that just disappears.
Yeah.
There's so much hand-waving.
Is that...
Was that a pun?
Let's call it a pun.
yeah,
I
I
hand
mean,
it to you. That's good.
that is sort of a Doctor Who-y thing, though, isn't it? Like, you end on a cliffhanger and absolutely nothing's going to pan out.
Yeah.
Like, there's never any real peril.
But normally it's just, like, the Doctor's in peril and then he gets himself out of it. But it's just, every
In this case, yeah, they
different,
took it-
like
they-
Sarah Jane, Gwen and Yenta.
Yeah, they turned it up to 11. You're right.
Yeah.
Wait, should we talk about the cliffhanger? Like the only cliffhanger that really matters, his regeneration. Yeah, let's stop there. What the fuck happened? I mean, so is it really that easy? You're undergoing a regeneration. Hitherto, it's not something that the Doctor can control. It's just something that happens. It's a part of his, biology, physiognomy. But in this case, he just like, whatever. I used it to heal myself.
And was it his plan all along? Did he keep the hand thinking that he would do that?
I don't think so.
Like,
I think he just kept the hand because
Just
like,
as a
that's a cool
memento.
trinket. It's an icebreaker at parties, and
He must have
it
had.
ran the TARDIS for a while, didn't it? Like he used it for power.
I think he had malice aforethought, because I don't think in the middle of a regeneration you have the foresight to think, oh, this is exactly what I'll do. He's like, as soon as I start doing the orange Kool-Aid effect, straight over there, that's where I'm pointing.
yeah,
I better remember this.
Ah,
I think so. It was too.
did you like it? Sorry, I interrupted you there.
I utterly hated it.
Yeah, I hated it as well.
With every fibre of my being. I mean, this series, we've already had what for me was, until this point, the ultimate anticlimax, which was in Forest of the Dead. Oh, look, they have used the square nus gun, peril over, reset. And that ruined the first 20 minutes
That was
of that
nothing
episode for me.
compared to this.
I know.
I remember how upset you were by that one cliffhanger, but
So my question for you is, did this ruin the first few minutes of your episode, or were you able to move on pretty quickly?
No, it definitely ruined the opener for me. I was just like, let's not put any thought into the writing then. Let's just
yeah.
Shazam everything okay.
Exactly, and why? Just because maybe Tennant still has a few episodes on his contract? Like, we don't really know what we're doing with the show. We haven't cast anyone else yet. Matt Smith is an unknown. Like, no. In a way, I feel like Tennant's Doctor is already dead now.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. We're getting fluff until Matt Smith shows up at this point.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. But I remember that at the time, and I don't remember the details, but I remember vaguely at the time, with all the caveats of 9 years removal post-memory, there was a lot of discussion over, did this constitute a full regeneration?
Yeah.
Was he now the 11th Doctor somehow? And since we were coming up to the 12 regenerations or lifetimes limit, what did that mean?
And that's exactly the case, isn't it? I mean, that's what I've written. He's wasted a regeneration, and this regeneration only lasts him, 4 episodes or something until we get Matt Smith.
Do they count it as when they're counting
it
the
does.
Doctors?
Does it
I
not?
don't think, well, no, because
I don't
Matt
think they
Smith
do.
comes along, he's the 11th.
Yeah.
It's the 11th hour, it's the fall of the 11th. So they completely paper over
Because
this.
I guess that they're saying it's not a full regeneration. He uses it a bit and then cancels it.
I'm going to look this up because I swear this counts, and this is why Matt Smith wouldn't have been the last one. There would have been one more, right? Hang on, I'm looking this up. Regeneration.
But then it turned out that there was the War Doctor anyway.
Yeah.
So that's what actually
also
bumps
a good
it up
point.
to 12, even though you've just had the...
But the
11th.
War Doctor doesn't really count because that was chemically induced. The Sisterhood of Khan gave him the magic...
Calling everything Khan!
The Sisterhood of Khan gave him the magic potion. They were like, oh, what do you want to be? Do you want to be a healer? Do you want to be a fighter? Do you want to be a whatever? It's like, oh, well, whatever. Yeah, give me that one. War Doctor, boom.
But then at the end, Rose turns up again and somehow makes him into a full-on Doctor, and he's rehabilitated.
I think he is a Doctor, because I think it always bothered me that they kind of said, I didn't use that name. He never called himself the Doctor during the war years, but he was a Doctor, and it does count as a regeneration.
Yeah, it's not like you get 12 Doctors,
Plus.
12 Butchers, 12 Bakers, 12 candlestick makers, is it?
Okay, so I'm going off TARDIS Wikia here. There are 13 lives, 12 regenerations, and 13 lives for any Time Lord. Capaldi is the 12th.
Well, are we counting Hurt then?
No, we're not.
We're not counting Hurt.
No, because it's chemically induced.
So Hurt is just McGann on steroid.
Basically, yeah.
Oh.
Well, sort of. Right?
So Hurt is like the Mr. Hyde of the Dr. Jekyll McGann.
All right.
So Hurt is like the Incredible Hulk.
What was it?
So
Keep going.
Bruce
More of them.
Banner
More of them. More of them.
McGann.
More of them.
But my point is that this debate was raging back then, so RTD had muddied the waters, and they've only got muddier since. But they were pretty muddy back then anyway.
But I thought as well that Matt Smith was the end, and that was going to be the last one, and then he got given all the extra regenerations in the War Doctor years. No.
Capaldi got given all the extra
Capaldi got
Yeah,
given
exactly.
extras.
Well, potentially. We don't know if he's got lots more. He, at the very least, got one more regeneration into Capaldi at the end of the 50th, right?
No, but that, so...
Because Matt Smith was going to die. That
Yeah.
was his last life.
But how was that his last life if Capaldi's only the 12th? Yeah.
Well, Hurt, so 13. Oh, goodness.
So maybe you're right. Maybe Tennant did take 2.
But in summary, all this for the sake of the most anticlimactic cliffhanger resolution in Doctor Who history.
Yeah. Because how amazing would it have been to do a new regeneration and a new Doctor with absolutely no forewarning? Like, nobody knew it was going to happen. And then just, boom, you've got a new Doctor. Rather than by the end of the specials, we all knew that it was Tennant's time was up. And it was just like, oh, God, come on, like, give us a new guy already.
Yeah,
but like, to
absolutely.
just cut it in its prime would have been amazing.
And it's also, it is a season finale.
Yeah.
I mean, normally the regeneration happens on a special, right? It normally happens on Christmas. Am I right in saying that? I feel like I'm right in saying that. Eccleston turned into Tennant at Christmas. Tennant turned into Matt Smith at Christmas or New Year's?
I think the New Year's.
Matt Smith turned into Capaldi for, was that a Christmas special, the 50th anniversary? I feel like it was.
50th anniversary was November, but it was his own special event.
It was a special,
yeah, fair
Capaldi's
enough.
last episode will be this Christmas.
Yeah, okay, so there we go. Given that at this point there's not another season, we get all these specials lined up. I'm assuming that contractually they didn't even really know when and what was going to happen, right? So this is the perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Ugh.
And also, it means that you can avoid Dalek Khan going, someone has to die! Then no one actually properly does.
Yeah.
We need to stop opening all our episodes with the thorniest, most difficult question. We need to be fluent for 10 minutes and then get bogged down.
Yeah. Let's be fluent then.
Check your flow. What have you got?
Just how poor all of the old companions were.
Oh.
So like Sarah Jane has 2 lines basically, and she goes, one step closer to the Doctor, which means nothing and is stupid. And then, oh my God, at the end, when her and Rose are like curling the Dalek.
This is the worst. Like, nice to see you. Oh, yes. Sod off, both of you.
Sod off.
Awful.
That was
Absolutely
so
awful.
bad.
Plus, I mean, the whole Mickey, Ricky, Jackie, Tyler, and Sarah Jane subplot is...
What are they doing there?
It's terrible.
It is terrible.
They're only there because, we're going to have a reunion. Just like K9 is only there because they have to have a reunion. It's absolutely dreadful. Okay, worst moment for me in their little subplot. When they are on the Crucible, Sarah Jane just runs off and goes in, like, she uses her sonic lipstick, by the way. I looked that up.
Is it a lipstick?
Yeah, sonic
Oh,
lipstick.
wow.
She uses that to open a door, and then Mickey Ricky's just like, yeah, I guess I'm going to bolt as well. No one notices. I mean, the Daleks don't notice. You'd assume that they're looking.
Oh, when they're lining everyone up.
Yeah, and the other people who are lined up, they don't go, oh my God, take me with you. You know?
And that woman falls over nothing. Why is she on the floor and can't get up?
Because she can't stand.
Oh no.
My foot's gone to sleep.
Worst possible moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really get...
And then that bit really annoyed me because they do the whole really dramatic countdown and they get to 0 and you're like, holy shit, like Jackie's still there, she's gonna die. And it's like, oh no wait, we've still got, other planets have to do their thing. The countdown was a little bit pointless. You've got another 3 minutes easily.
That whole thing was pointless to me. So to test, quote, the calibration of the reality bomb, end quote, which is to be used on the whole universe, the Daleks kill a dozen or so unchecked bundled humans at close range. Like, let's check the calibration. We're not going to try it on a planet. I mean, like, this is the Death Star.
Even.
Yeah.
This
is the Death Star. The Death Star in Star Wars was tested on Alderaan. This is what you do. You're going to blow up planets. Maybe try it on a planet. Right? It's like, we're going to try it. We're going to blow up the whole universe.
Yeah.
All of reality. Let's try it on these 12 people.
Because
And if they disappear, whether we've dissolved them or they've run away, either way, it's fine.
who's counting?
As long as they're not there at the end, story checks out.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very specific. It just, like, the idea of the reality bomb is it undoes all atoms into nothing.
Yeah.
So,
using trap code form.
Yeah.
It's a special effect that costs about $49.
Really? And they make a huge deal out of it as well.
And
It's like,
everybody-
look, we can put it on this otherwise useless extra who we learned to hate 2 minutes ago as well.
Everybody has to stand like Jesus while you get vaporized as well. They have their palms forward.
I
They
didn't
all
notice that.
stand stock
they do.
still straight upright with their palms
like
forward.
clearly green screened. I mean, I don't mean to say that it's a very cheap effect. It is a cheap effect, but I don't mean to criticize it. However, there are some other effects, like the Death Star blowing up in this one looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like when they blow up the Dalek Death Star, whatever.
The Crucible!
That's the one. That looks beautiful.
Yeah.
So then why did they give this effect to a fucking intern? Like anyway, whatever.
Well, at least it has a precedent in that the Daleks gather whole line of people together and they don't know who's there and they're not really watching. This is exactly what happened in Evolution of the Daleks when the Doctor just rocked up in the line.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like,
Oh no, we didn't see you coming, even though you're right there.
You're right.
Time Lord treachery.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Ugh.
but,
Oh, here we go.
There were only, the difference is there are only 4 Daleks, the Cult of Skaro, watching that lot. And a bunch of
Yeah,
people
there are thousands of them.
watching them from every conceivable direction in 3 dimensions.
Presumably, considering that this is the one and only test of the reality bomb, probably everyone is looking, including Davros is looking, right? Like, everyone is checking this out.
Yeah,
And
wasn't it all on screen?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
This is everyone rocking up to check out Alderaan. These 12 people are Alderaan, and no one is paying attention. No one notices a, on the wrong side of 50, person with a sonic lipstick walking off to the side and going bleep, 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 slowly.
I can only assume that Daleks have
That's not ageism, by the way.
hitherto unmentioned subcutaneous iPhones that they're just distracted by every couple of seconds.
There's like just an advert in the corner.
Yeah.
I don't want to play Candy Crush. Yeah.
They're all playing Candy Crush, is the thing. That's why nobody knows what's going on. Neither of you have pinpointed the worst moments of this little mini Scooby Gang, and that is Mickey smooching his gun the size of a planet before he puts it out.
Oh, yes.
Because now Mickey is the ultimate badass as well.
Also,
Yeah, no, but not very good.
Jack throws the gun at Mickey, and then you zoom out and you realise he's literally stood next to him. Like, just hand the gun over. Like, it's fairly big and quite heavy. Would you really throw it?
Also, they both came out of the TARDIS, right?
Yeah. Just pick up a gun, Mickey.
Each.
Yeah.
One each.
Don't make Jack do all the heavy lifting. Captain Beefcake.
Ugh, Captain Beefcake. Great name, though.
Yeah.
Love Captain Beefcake.
I don't know. I quite love Captain Cheesecake also.
Oh, yes, Captain Cheesecake.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Captain Cheesecake and Mickey Mouse.
I actually really like that little reunion there.
Yeah, that was quite sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Better than Sarah Jane and Rose anyway.
Did you like all of the Captain Beefcake references to wanting to, well, basically bone down with everyone?
Ooh, 3 doctors.
The 3 doctors. You have no idea what's going on in my mind.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we have a pretty good idea, Jack.
We get that.
You're gonna do like a human centipede of boning. Did you like, in reverse, did you like all the people wanting to bone down with Captain Jack?
Mainly Donna.
Donna, and we also get a shot of Sarah Jane just swooning after having been hugged by him. I mean, it's just absurd. The orgasmic potential of his hugs is off the charts. Like, he hugs her, and she literally is like, her eyes are rolling back towards her medulla oblongata. It's just like, I'm coming so hard! It's incredible.
Although
And she is a mother.
I was about to say, she also nearly orgasms when she finds out her son's alive, though. She does the whole, like, head flip thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
She just hasn't had any in a long time, I think.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, in our review of part 1, we were criticizing the 14-year-old Luke. 14 it was. Yeah, we were discussing his age at the time.
Yes.
But we were criticizing Luke as being this know-it-all, this human computer type character. This fucking like, I hate this guy.
This tech-speak spouter.
Yeah, I looked him up. It turns out there's a reason for this, and that is that I can't quite remember exactly what it was, but he is either alien or a computer, like a supercomputer that has taken on the form, the shape of a human boy. Like
Is he the love child of Sarah Jane and Mr. Smith?
Might be. But so that's the reason why. And I read that shortly after we had recorded part 1, which is why I popped that on the website for part 1 and then promptly forgot about it. And then in this episode, she starts talking about like, oh, he's only 14 years old. He's just a child. But he's not. Like, I mean, this is what it says online. The internet is never wrong.
Surely not.
This kid can probably be, left on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I thought that was a positive, though, to this episode. Because last week, I was like...
That he was not in it.
Yeah, please, Luke, don't turn out to be the crux upon which the episode is resolved. And thank goodness he wasn't. In fact, did he even have a line apart from, hi, Mum?
That was it.
Oh, I had a real bugbear about that. So, turning to my notes.
Maria's made 8 pages of notes, podcast
This
land.
is amazing.
It's quite a small notebook, I should let you know. So Sarah Jane, when she brings out the diamond that's going to destroy
The Warp Star.
The Warp Star.
Yeah.
And she says a line about, I have a son back on Earth, therefore I have a very real stake in this society. Oh my god, that annoyed me so much. It's like, only people with children care about Earth. Like, it drives me mad. Like, because you're a mother, you therefore have a better moral code than somebody that doesn't have children. Like,
only mothers really know how to care. I mean, wasn't that Andrea Leadsom's argument?
Well, basically was. Yeah, that was what my quote was. But, but yeah, that really pissed me off.
Yeah, this episode proves that daughters don't care, for example. We have Martha, who's got the Esterhagen key.
Yeah.
And she's perfectly happy to sacrifice her mum. Whereas, by the logic of this episode, if the mum were in that situation, she would not be happy to sacrifice Martha.
I don't think Martha is perfectly happy to sacrifice her mum. Martha's
but she's going to go. She is going to go through with it, right?
Can we go back to that as well? Because I wrote this down. The line is, the suffering of the human race is so great and so without hope that we have to.
Yeah, it's a large-scale euthanasia device.
Yeah. But at this point, they haven't heard the Daleks' plan. Only the Doctor and the people in the Crucible know the full plan.
That's true.
Is the
Martha
suffering...
on Skype?
No. That came later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Martha on Skype, she already knows this.
So at this point, they've rounded up a handful of humans, they've exterminated them, but then they've left because Donna's mum was like, oh, the ships are going, they're leaving, it's all over.
Yeah.
And nobody else knows what the plan is. At this point, we're saying that the human race is doomed and let's blow everybody up.
Yeah.
And basically,
like, we're all gonna die, so let's kill ourselves first.
Yeah, exactly. That makes no sense.
Makes no sense. You're absolutely right. She doesn't know that they're part of some super weapon.
No, like she says, I assume because of the planet thing, blah, 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 but it's a big assumption to make.
Well,
it is.
She's also met the Daleks. She knows what they're about.
It's not just Martha. 2 other people have the Esterhagen key and they're ready to pull it.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, you're right. And they need a minimum of 3.
3.
And there are how many Esterhagen keys?
I think there are 5 stations, but there are 25 nuclear warheads.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
They just need 3 out of the 5 to activate them.
So,
I think they're a bit trigger happy.
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think you're right. So the German scene,
Exterminieren.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Let's address that first. Exterminieren, very weird word to use in German, even though it's correct. But how creepy was it to hear Daleks speak German, given that they were originally designed to be this space equivalent of Nazis? That was the whole idea. I mean, I'm sorry, we have listeners in Germany. This isn't meant in any, bad way, but that's what they originally represented. Now we're actually hearing them speak German. Very weird. It's like a full circle type thing.
And dropping geographical references to Nuremberg.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. Oh, holy smokes. I didn't realize that. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
There are other cities in Germany.
Yeah.
Probably within 60 miles of Nuremberg.
Does this also, by the way, prove the fact that she is now transported to, Martha, is now transported to Nuremberg? Does that mean that Project Indigo, whatever, teleporter vest does read her mind/heart?
Yeah.
Is that it? Because there's no, toggle.
Because she knows how to control it. Oh, she knows the base code, so she can control it now.
Oh,
she said that.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
So how could she control it to get home the last time? Yeah. Doesn't really.
I don't know, maybe that's when it fused with a mindy, hearty, wibbly wobbly.
I guess that is scientifically
You get
accurate,
one free shot, and then after that you need the base code.
Everyone gets one. Okay, so anyway, so she's taken to Nuremberg.
Yeah.
And there's this...
the German lady.
There's the German lady.
Who's obsessed with the glamour of London.
Yeah, I know.
I love that. So glamorous.
Yes. I was the talk of Carnaby Street. I was the one hot thing in the Cold War. Me and Anita Pallenberg literally fucked the whole city.
I know. She actually says she heard all of the soldiers talking about the Esterhagen key.
Yeah, which is supposed to be top secret.
Exactly. It's top secret. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
There were lots of soldiers.
Because Martha just keeps fucking telling everyone.
Yeah. And follow-up question, where are the soldiers? Why is this whole station just guarded by one German lady?
Well, she said that they abandoned it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's very irresponsible. So all the soldiers abandoned it, and the only person who's there, who didn't abandon her post, is the one person who doesn't want it to be used.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
What, just shoots the person who arrives
But
there?
what was her post? Does she work there? Random old lady?
Yeah, I took her to be like the Igor of this German castle. Like she's she's just sort of hanging out in this castle with a broomstick every now and then, like sweeping up dust. Yeah, exactly. And occasionally pointing fucking lugers at,
Was that a luger?
Wasn't it?
Well, that's what I
fuck, wait.
No, I looked it up online and I thought...
Did I just
German war
racist
pistol.
the hell out of that scene? I'm sorry.
I genuinely think...
It's a really old-fashioned gun.
Yeah,
like,
they went for the full-on World War II bunker effect.
Yeah.
With a luger. So fair play to them for using that, I thought.
I'm Googling Journey's End German lady.
To pick up on a note from you last week in the interim, Marie, you were talking about Torchwood's tiles being from the underground tile factory.
Oh, yeah.
This German set was also covered in tiles, so I think they got a job lot. Have you got any more hanging around that we can dress a set with?
We can give you an offer if you buy 50,000 of them.
Okay, I can't find the screenshot. Presumably it wasn't a Luger, you're probably right. But
No, I'm not saying it wasn't a Luger. I'm saying, well played. They got all the set dressings and props that they could to make it as German as possible.
yeah.
Or as cinematically German as possible.
Do you know what I really hated about that character, the German
She wasn't eating a
lady?
bratwurst.
No, I mean, her German was perfectly fine, but
She wasn't wearing lederhosen.
way better than Martha's, but no, you're right. In lieu of all of those tropes, she went ahead and just slapped a massive dong of the other trope on the table, the let's mix languages mid-sentence trope. It's like, you are the Albtraum, not the others. You know, they're like, oh, I don't know was I'm going to do. Like, oh, come
It's
on.
not the fact that some German words don't have a precise English translation? A precise
I don't
English
know
equivalent?
what you're going to do. Albtraum just means nightmare. I mean,
Oh, really? Bum.
you know that trope of we're going to identify someone as a foreign character by just
Yeah,
having them
throwing
randomly.
in.
Yeah, she might as well go like this and this other thing.
Was all the German, did you have subtitles when you watched it?
No.
No. I was wondering whether, because sometimes Netflix doesn't subtitle very well, I was wondering whether they were supposed to be or whether they just left it in German.
I don't know. I didn't have subtitles. I assumed that it was meant to be understood contextually.
Yeah.
Even though when they first talk to each other, that's a good point actually. No, there's no way of figuring it out, right? They just speak German with each other.
Yeah, I didn't really know what was going on in that scene. Apart from when Martha said, Ich heiße Martha Jones.
Yeah,
And the
we all
German
got
was
that.
like, oh good, you did year 7 German. I can talk about nightmares with you.
Yeah, you're right. And actually, that it loses all the oomph of the final line between them. She says in German, "Go to hell."
I wonder,
Or like,
yeah.
oh, sorry, you're going to hell.
We were talking about that. I kind of vaguely sounded like going, yeah, you're going to hell.
I can't remember what she says, like, zur Hölle mit dir.
But yeah, if you don't know any German at all, then, because yeah, I got year 9 German, thank you very much.
Oh, did you? I wasn't saying you didn't.
How dare you, Drew?
But yeah,
bragging.
if you know no German, there's a lot of people out there that just might not have any clue, then
Maybe
yeah.
there are subtitles. Maybe there were subtitles
On the
originally.
BBC.
Yeah, and we
And
just
then-
didn't get them in, I don't know, fucking Osterhagen thing. Sorry, I'm dropping F-bombs now. The reason that she isn't using the Osterhagen key is because she has potentially one more race up her sleeve, and presumably that is the Doctor, right?
yeah.
Well, and the threat of using the Osterhagen key.
But that's not a threat. It's like, oh, well, she knows it is one of two things. Either the Daleks are going to blow up the Earth. Oh, we're going to blow up ourselves first.
I don't know.
That's not a threat.
The middle way, the third option is we will blow up the Earth.
If it turns out that you need the Earth for some even greater nefarious purpose.
Yeah, so let's start
Sure.
negotiating.
Negotiating?
With Daleks?
There's no Exactly. There's no negotiating with a
has met
fucking
Daleks.
pepper pot. No. She's gonna go, oh, you need us in order to do this. Well, we're gonna blow ourselves up in that case.
Oh, okay.
Worst
Maybe
case-
we can negotiate.
Worst case, a stalemate until the Daleks go, blow them out of the sky. We'll find another planet to take its place. Yeah, that's it.
There was a lot of the Daleks going, in this episode.
Anyway, so she doesn't do it, just like Sarah Jane Smith and Captain
See,
Hot Pants.
that makes more sense as a threat.
What, the Deus Ex Warp Star?
Is to
Look,
blow up the Crucible.
that makes, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. That makes way more sense.
Because we will save the other planets then.
With this one thing that we haven't heard of until just now, which presumably was picked up in the Sarah Jane Adventures.
Maybe,
right?
yeah, maybe.
But not that many people watch Sarah Jane Adventures as far as I'm aware, so, I mean, of the same age bracket
Yeah.
that watch Doctor Doctor Who. So for all intents and purposes, this is a Deus Ex Machina. This is just like, out of nowhere, here's a thing that we can use that we could have maybe brought up in part 1. I mean, I'm just saying. We're going to the Crucible. Oh, wait, quick. Don't forget the Warp Star.
Yeah.
Rock, diamond, whatever it was called.
Yeah. And it's not even that the Daleks overcome the threat of the Warp Star in a clever way. It's just,
Use the teleporter. Hooray, we are supreme again.
Yeah. Yeah. Every single person is then just beamed out of there. Including Martha from some subterranean Esterhagen-based thingy. Yeah.
I think that the German Daleks also were underused.
Yeah.
They could have beamed up to see the Supreme Dalek and said something like, Sieg Heil Daleks Führer.
Oh my goodness.
That'd have been cool, right?
Do you know what would have been great? She accidentally uses the Project Indigo beam vest she wants to get to Nuremberg, but she accidentally lands in like Paris, and you have French Daleks, and then she goes to Portugal. She's like, obrigado. Wouldn't that'd be amazing? I want to hear Daleks speak something else than English. That'd be great. Anyway, alright, so everyone gets beamed out. Point about the beaming, the Daleks refer to it as they are transmatted out of there.
Good.
Yes.
Which I think is a reference to T-Mat, which is a beaming technology brought up in classic Who, in a Troughton serial, The Seeds of Death.
Nice.
An Ice Warrior serial, which is either really good or really bad and consequently really fun. Can't remember. I remember really enjoying it. Yeah, we've already reviewed it. Have a listen, Podcast Land. But yeah, so there's this technology, human technology called T-Mat. It's just like a box. You step into it, and then when you open the box and you step back out, you are elsewhere. That's the
Bit
beaming
like the
thing.
TARDIS.
The box doesn't beam. What is inside gets beamed. It's literally like the Star Wars beaming without the effect, the glimmer
How do you
effect.
step out if the box
You don't mean Star
beam?
Trek.
Did I say Star Wars?
Yes.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. I just
no.
Obama did. I meant Star Trek. Yeah, apologies.
Yeah, sure, I know the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, live long and prosper, Jedis.
If the box doesn't beam, what do you step out of?
It beams everything that is in it. Imagine the Fly. Oh shit, why did I overcomplicate this? It is a beaming device where instead of the trackpad, the transport pad in Star Trek is inside a box. You step inside the box, boop, you disappear. And there's another box somewhere, boop, you appear.
Oh, there are 2 boxes. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah, that's the
I'm
thing.
with you now.
Anyway, it's called T-Mat. Oh, fuck it, I'm sorry.
There's just too many mats in Doctor Who in general. There's a cyber mat as well.
Was it Matt Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I just completely destroy that? I'm sorry.
No, you just took my next line.
Oh, I saw.
Which is
okay.
worse.
No, damn it! I'm sorry.
But yeah, and then we get the other Doctor's attempt at a rescue.
Oh, we get a bit before that though.
Oh, we do.
We get the TARDIS is in peril, like I've never seen really.
Yeah.
I mean, the TARDIS always lands sunny side up, but here it's thrown into the
Like lava.
molten core.
Yeah.
And side note, this molten core is exactly why we didn't have a massive molten core at the center of the library, I imagine, because they just couldn't figure out how to do 2 effects. One a different color.
Maybe.
We'd have been like, we've seen that before.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm being charitable and making that their excuse.
By the way, the way to the core in this one, where the TARDIS is going through the tunnel, like the pipe. Like
It handily just landed on a little trapdoor that's the exact shape of the TARDIS.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, good point. By which I mean awful work. How did that happen? Unless they're like the whole floor is just trapdoors and they pick which one they want to activate. But yeah, very good point. But then the effect of it going down the garbage chute, that's wonderful because it's just like the opening theme effect of it going through the time vortex, except now it's made out of metal rather than whatever vortex energy. Cool.
But you know what that scene told me was that the TARDIS being in peril is more worrisome than the Doctor being in peril. The Doctor is literally replaceable. He's been replaced a dozen times. The TARDIS, if that goes, he's forever fucked.
That's it.
Well,
yeah, you're right.
He can make another TARDIS.
There was meant to be, I haven't watched it, I think it actually is on the DVD, there was meant to be a different ending scene, which got cut, in which, sorry to skip to the end, but in which when they leave human Doctor and Rose in the other dimension, the Doctor was meant to give him like this crystal, this like coral type thing.
Yeah.
Not crystal, sorry, coral, which would then grow into a TARDIS.
It's like the heart of the TARDIS.
Something like that, yeah. And then they cut it for whatever reason, but it is replacing replaceable in a way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not
I'm glad
unique.
they cut that.
There are,
Yeah,
there
I
are
am as
multiple TARDISes. It's just that his is his.
Yeah.
There are other like he could
Yeah, but
get a
Gallifrey's
different-
gone, so he's not going to get another one.
He could build another one. It seems like temporal wibbly-wobbly science is even attainable to
Rose.
Rose,
Martha's got
Torchwood's
one, yeah.
unit. Like everyone has something, some timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah.
Torchwood invented the time lock, or whatever it was called. in this one.
Yeah.
Time
that's
bubble?
pretty,
Time bubble. What? Like you have that kind of you don't need the Doctor. You don't need anyone. You could freeze time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could Rick and Morty that whole world.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Oh my God! Spoiler for the season 1 cliffhanger.
But I did like the scene with the Donna trapped in the Z neutrino fireball and all the portholes and the headlights.
How
are
many
popping
shots
out
of
the
roundels blowing out did we have to see, though?
True.
Quite a few. It was a good scene, though. Yeah, I feel like I'm dumping too much on this episode. Do you think that the Doctor cared more about Donna or the TARDIS at that point?
Donna.
Donna?
Yeah, because he was saying, "Put me in her place."
Oh,
Like,
that's true.
Yeah.
But that's sort
It
of
was
like a
like, my
captain goes down
friend-
with his ship type thing.
Yeah.
That's transparent though, isn't it? Couldn't he just zap
her
out
ship.
the way? You know, he's like, put me back in the TARDIS and that'll kill me. Wink.
I don't think how he said it. He was very much destroyed and distraught and like, this is my friend. Don't do whatever you're doing to her. Do to me instead. I
Yeah.
think he was more about Donna at that moment.
Oh, wait, okay, hang on. Question. Sorry, I interrupted you again.
Sorry.
Riffing off what you just said, the whole like, oh, put me in the TARDIS and wink, maybe I'll get away from here anyway. The human Doctor does get away, like they do pilot the
Yeah.
TARDIS out of there, but the TARDIS had been deactivated using the temporal prison or the time prison or whatever it was called. It was turned off, and the Doctor even says all of its defenses are down, like they have literally turned off the TARDIS. How did they get out of there?
I assume there was a little bit more marmalade gas and
Well, like the regeneration, whatever.
yeah, it rebooted it, turned it off and on again, restarted. I don't know.
Why couldn't Donna just have done that? Oh, you mean, from the hand?
From the human Doctor Metacrisis.
It's a hand job type thing. Like, use that. Is that what you're saying? You know, or is it a...
Possibly.
Because otherwise, it seems very irresponsible of the Daleks. I mean, it's like, oh, we're just gonna let go of this thing that can clearly beat us. And by the way, it will.
They don't know that the Doctor has a hand in it. I mean, but then they don't seem to know Donna's in there at all, actually.
Really?
So, well, oh no, they do, because the Doctor protests, but they don't care.
Yeah,
that
that's
she's
true.
Yeah.
down there.
That's true. That is true.
I think they assume that she can't fly it, maybe, or which she
Potentially.
doesn't anyway. So.
I can't remember. I have a feeling that the human Doctor then somehow hot wires this.
Yeah.
You have to have the knowledge of the Doctor in order to hotwire it, and
You have to be a human to know how to hot.
What? No. What?
Yeah, it's that
No.
instinct of reaching under bonnets over, literally 2 or 3 generations. It's written in all our DNA.
That's super racist. Time Lords are just as good a car thief as anyone. Anyway,
Well,
so
the Doctor is a car thief.
Yeah.
he is. That's my point. So you have to be a doctor in order to hotwire a TARDIS, and because there's just a human companion in there, maybe that's why the Daleks go, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, she's gonna melt.
I was annoyed that seeing the Doctor's hand, we didn't get like a Time Lord version of Thing scampering around everywhere.
Oh, you're right.
I was really looking forward to that, and that was instantly dashed, that hope.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been really good.
But it did
Oh,
lead
I like
into
that.
did lead into his naked scene.
Yeah. How aroused were you on a scale from 0 to 10?
No, from 0 to Sarah Jane.
Sarah Jane all the way. No, I liked that scene. I liked Donna's, you're naked.
Oh, yes.
Looking
Oh,
away.
yes.
Because my bugbear with Donna in the past has been all this like sexual tension that isn't there that they kind of play on. But
Yeah.
actually, when he's naked in front of you, there is a little bit.
Was there a little bit of sexual tension?
I don't know.
I didn't feel like there was. I felt that it was nothing but awkwardness from her side.
Which
Like,
is what it
no, it's
should
like
have-
you're my brother or possibly my legal guardian. I don't want to see you naked. This is just going to raise an eyebrow. Like, I don't think that she was like, oh, wow, so wet right now. the way that she is, by the way, with Captain Jack.
yeah.
So if you compare how she reacted there, where it was just like, put some clothes on for goodness sake, to Captain Jack, please hug me. No, I mean it. Just, shall we talk about the whole Dr. Donna, human doctor thing?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to, aren't we? Because it cuts both ways in the end.
Yeah.
I actually quite liked Tennant doing an impression of Tate.
Yeah, I think I probably agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I liked it
More
too.
so than Tate
Isn't
doing an
that
impression of him.
wizard?
I liked all the ha-ing at the end as well.
Yeah, and the oi and...
Yeah, there's a lot of like one-liners that were quite... I imagine that was a really fun like few scenes to shoot, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably right. But then every single time that he does an impression of her, he's just cementing the... he's making the Rose's deal at the end worse and worse. You know, it's like, oh, you're stuck with this human facsimile. He's a very realistic walking and talking real doll, but he's also part chav. And
because they don't go into that in Bad Wolf Bay. It's like, I'm the doctor, and the only human part of me is the aging part. But yeah, Rose doesn't really know what she signed up for, I think.
Yeah. No, she signed up for a Donna who's genocidal.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
For some reason, the doctor, the real doctor, I mean, doesn't care about Rose anymore, because it's just like, well, he's going to need a caretaker. Why don't you be that?
You can do it, yeah.
He could very easily just dump the genocidal doctor somewhere else. Right? Problem solved.
Yeah.
Yeah, feels very weird.
Couldn't they all four, I mean, obviously you'd have to green screen the shit out of Series 5, but couldn't they all four just run around in the TARDIS in their own, that single universe, our universe? Why do they have to split up again? Rose clearly would sacrifice her mum and little baby Tony and all that lot.
Certainly for two doctors.
Yeah.
That's the relationship. All of a sudden she goes like, no, don't leave. I just had two of you.
Please, Dr. Sandwich.
Eiffel Tower me now. But so
I don't want to know. I just don't want to know.
Okay, wait, hang on. The human doctor committed genocide.
Yep.
Of the Daleks. He killed the Daleks. And consequently, he has to be taken out of the equation. Why?
Has the real doctor never committed genocide?
Rachnos.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes, same doctor.
Yeah.
Same companion.
You had, is it Genesis of the Daleks, where Tom Baker, I might be talking out of my ass here, but I think Tom Baker at one point has the option, this legendary serial, Genesis of the Daleks, he has the option to kill the Daleks before they even turn into a species, like it's the first Dalek or something. It's the Genesis, and he can prevent it. And he chooses not to, because that would be genocide. And this doctor does it and says, I'm fulfilling the prophecy, presumably said prophecy. Like he's doing what Tom Baker Doctor didn't.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like this is reason enough to keep him out of our world. Like just dump him somewhere. He's going to die eventually. He's not going to regenerate. Just dump him somewhere. What's the problem? What's the big deal? Put him on Earth, for example.
Yeah.
He could work for UNIT or Torchwood or something.
Because he's got all the knowledge, but he doesn't have the TARDIS, so
that's it.
He can't really...
And he's not going to regenerate.
Yeah.
So he's going to age.
Yeah.
Fine. Put him on
could
Earth.
Be a valuable
and
resource.
then Rose could join the real Doctor in the TARDIS,
and then
that's
he would
it.
never be alone again.
Exactly. And
well, until she dies.
And that way, Tennant could return to the show for the rest of his life, and the aging process is taken care of. So he doesn't have to wear makeup to look younger or anything.
Yeah.
He can just come back again and again and again.
that's brilliant.
That is brilliant.
That is brilliant. BBC, why did you not do this? Oh, that's such a good idea. Either way, it really belittled, from the Doctor's point of view, it belittled the connection between Rose and the Doctor.
I disagree. I think that so Rose's relationship with the Doctor can never give her like a normal relationship. They can't have a family, they can't like grow old together, they won't and so by giving him his duplicate, he said you will have a normal relationship where you will grow old, because otherwise she grows old and he's this young whippersnapper running around.
He's gonna like Highlander her basically.
Yeah, and she's like 80 and she's like, Doctor, don't leave me. And he's like, I've got to go and save this planet. And
It didn't bother Connor McLeod. He just went underwater swimming, swam it off.
Connor McLeod, by the way, in the film or in the series, I can't remember. Actually, he was Colin McLeod in the series, but he was married to, he saw his wife off at her deathbed, on her deathbed, and she was in her 90s, and he was this super hot late 20s, early 30s dude. Tennant can do this! That is not a problem!
Yeah, he'll just sing Who Wants to Live Forever, get on with his life.
So much rests upon this one scene. Rose is happy because she has the Doctor. No, she doesn't. She has a poor facsimile who is a war criminal and also part someone else. And she even says this very clearly on the beach in front of the facsimile. She says, he's not you.
Yeah.
Right? I want you. I just found you. Don't leave me.
But that does lead to one of my favourite lines in this episode. I need you, that's very me.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that line.
Yeah,
Even
I
if
did.
all this schlock led up to it.
But then he doesn't fulfill. I mean, he says, yeah, I need you, or he needs you, that's very me.
Yes, sorry, yes.
Yeah.
I.e., I need you too. I'm gonna leave.
Okay, so
I'm not gonna have you.
I'm going to try and defend this from another angle now.
Okay.
Because I quite liked it. But so if you leave human Doctor on Earth somewhere and just say, just get on with it.
Yeah.
What he's basically said to her
You
is,
can date someone else, for goodness sake.
no, but what he said to her was that, Rose, you found me when I was desperate and alone and had forgotten what, like...
And I'd gone all northern and intense
Yeah.
and weird.
and you saved me, basically. And so his duplicate, he doesn't want to just abandon him to UNIT where they will pick apart his brain and use all his knowledge and dehumanize him more, maybe. He needs
Do you
him
think
to
that would
have...
happen, though? I don't think that would happen. I think he would basically be the Doctor working for UNIT or Torchwood or whatever. Let's say UNIT. In Classic Who, for Who Back When, we're currently going through Pertwee's first season.
Yeah.
And Pertwee is landlocked. He's stuck on Earth. He can't travel around. So he's working with/for UNIT.
Yeah, but that's generation removed from now. The Doctor's current opinion and perception of UNIT is they're just idiot soldiers shooting at exhaust pipes, which, by the way, they absolutely are.
Yeah, you're right, but couldn't he change that? The human Doctor is just the person to change
But
that.
he needs a companion. Like, he always needs a companion. He's no good when he's on his own.
I think the retro rewrite is real Doctor and Rose travel the universe or time and space. Human Doctor is left on Earth, works for UNIT or Torchwood, but presumably UNIT, and maybe even heads it up. Like, this is the new leader of UNIT or the new leader of Torchwood. And just as he is left there, whatever, like as his penitence for having committed genocide is, he doesn't get to be with Rose, but he gets a chance at a new life, and he's left there, and you're going to be reporting to this very charming person whom this is your new companion, quote unquote, this is the love interest, open-ended. We maybe never see Tennant again or human Doctor again.
Yeah.
But we know that there's a chance at love there,
Okay, so the problem then from a, writer's perspective is that then you can never get rid of the Rose character.
Well,
you can have multiple Doctors, but he's given his life to Rose, he's going to presumably marry Rose. It was okay.
But there are so many... Okay, first off, we've already had Rose very clearly express disinterest in the Doctor if he is to regenerate into a different incarnation. She's already like, what, you're going to look like someone else? I'm shallow enough to not care, right? And as in about that next iteration. And there are so many cases of companions just leaving to do something else.
Yeah, but not companions that he's in love with. And the scene on the beach is basically him saying, I love you, I want to spend my life with you, I can't, so I will give you this
guy
man.
will do it.
Yeah. So if you were going to bring Rose into the Doctor's universe, he's committed a lifetime to her.
This is super interesting to me because we clearly disagree on this. I feel like he could spend her
lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could spend her life together.
Yeah.
Her lifetime together. And there's no... Fine, she'll age and he won't, but I'm okay with that. I think most viewers would be okay with that. Not necessarily seeing it.
Yeah.
Because it would be cheesy.
Yeah.
But, I
In
think
theory.
everyone I think is okay with the idea of it. And then instead we get her going, can you finish the sentence? And then she just she snogs human Doctor and is just well, you taste the same, so that's fine. It makes it so shallow, so superficial.
What do we think human Doctor whispers into her ear? Is it, you've been mishearing it all along, I'm not the 10th Doctor, I'm the 10-inch Doctor?
Oh.
Or, it's bigger on your inside. Or, the extra regeneration energy. You know where I put that. Because whatever it is, she's buying it.
You've been working on those.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But even after she snogs him, she could look more pleased. She's really not happy.
Yeah, she isn't.
Yeah.
Of course she isn't, because he's not the real Doctor.
It's tricky. What we object to a lot of the time on Doctor Who is fan service and ratings and things. It's the real world, our real world, intruding upon the in-show universe.
Yeah.
Because this whole scene exists because RTD felt 2 years ago I made this amazing scene and everybody loved it, and now I have to go one better and top it.
Wait, hang on. There's another thing as well to do with RTD, right? Because he's currently the showrunner, but from the next season on, Moffat is going to be the showrunner, right?
Yeah.
So very possibly, it's the same thing that we have now with Moffat being roughly 1 year away from handing the torch over to, passing the torch to, what's his name? And
Chris Chibnall.
That's the guy. Chris, if you're listening, please come on the show. I mean, it's the same thing where presumably Moffat now feels at the end of this season he needs to round things off in a way that allow for a completely fresh start, because we don't know where Chibnall is going to take the show. He's going to want to add his own thing to it, right? And very possibly RTD was thinking, well, I know Moffat, he's written stuff and he's great, but he might want to do something new with this as well, so I need to also round things off so that he can take it in a completely new direction. And in fact, he will. I mean, we're going to get a new Doctor, a new companion, and basically a reboot of the series with the new showrunner. So maybe that's why the Doctor companion dynamic is dealt with the way that it.
Yeah, maybe. It didn't achieve the desired retro closure for me.
No, not
Dimensional or otherwise.
Who's heading up the specials that are coming up? Is that still RTD or is that already Moffat?
Yeah, that's RTD.
That's RTD.
That's RTD's proper swan song.
Yeah.
Oh. I remember at least liking the next one.
Oh, I love the next one.
Yeah.
I think 3 of the 5 at least coming are going to be good.
What are they? They're the whatever of the Doctor.
The Next Doctor.
The next Doctor, that's what it
The
is.
Waters of Mars.
Yeah.
The Stupid Desert Shit Parade and End of Time Parts 1 and 2.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
The Stupid Desert Shit Parade.
Yeah.
Official title. Okay, shall we switch to a different topic? Because there are still things to discuss here, I feel. Anyone got anything else? Otherwise, I know where I'm heading with this.
Well, I mean, are we heading towards Davros and the Daleks?
I was going to say Davros and Star Wars.
Go for it.
Okay, we've already referred to the Crucible as the Death Star. We have Davros as the Emperor. We have this particular line.
Oh, that's it! The anger, the fire, the rage of a Time Lord.
Which is exactly what the Emperor tells Luke, right? It's ridiculously similar. We do have very much a Death Star situation with the testing on the Aldran of a dozen people, which will then wipe out a universe, i.e. planets in whatever.
Yeah.
Then we also get Davros shooting electricity from his finger, very much like the Emperor and Luke / Darth Vader at the end of Jedi. It's crazy Star Warsy.
Do you know what? I'm going to make a controversial argument and say that's okay. Because I think that RTD is trying to elevate Doctor Who with all the spectacle and everything to the level of space opera. Last week was all space opera. This week is as well. And we just saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
And there was stuff I was seeing in this episode, like all the planets crackling with the neutrino effect. And that made me think of, hopefully this doesn't spoil it for too many of you who haven't seen the film yet, but Ego's stuff taking over planets.
Oh my goodness, yeah, you're right. It looks very much like it.
In that. So I think
purely visually, the effect is very similar.
Yeah, so all these cosmic operas just end up borrowing from each other because they're operating on the same plane at the same interplanetary scale.
Yeah, but don't you who wrote this?
RTD.
RTD wrote this. Don't you think that RTD at some point in this, he wrote it and he was like, I made up this amazing thing, and then RTD's husband comes up to him and reads the script, before handing it over to the BBC, reads the script and he's like, Ross, you know this is reminiscent of something else, right? RTD reads it again and just boom, face palms like shit. I didn't realize I was subconsciously ripping off George Lucas, which is such.
I have to say, it didn't. And I love Star Wars. It didn't grab me. It didn't strike me as that initially, but now that you've talked about it, I can see where you're coming from. But I get like Drew. I don't think I have a problem with it. I think I like these little sci-fi nods to other, they know that there's a huge crossover in the fan bases. There's gonna be. So just these kind of little. There's only like 3 little bits that you've mentioned, and they're not like the 12 people being older on.
No, I know that's a super stretch.
I don't know. I don't mind a little nod here and there. I think there's enough differences. It's not. He hasn't just ripped it off.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
No, you're both incredibly right. I don't know if this is really criticism on my part. It's just it's an observation that just kind of itches in
I guess
a well.
It's whether
it's just
it
I don't know where I stand on this.
Whether he did it intentionally or whether it was
intentional, or whether it's just inherent sci-fi, like inherently, whatever.
When you're creating a force that's pure evil, which is what the Emperor is and which is what Davros is.
Yeah.
Like, how do we display that visually? Let's make electricity to shoot out their finger. Like, it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, they're just tropes of the genre. I'm sure there are other examples.
In fact, wait, hang on. We have the TARDIS going through the chute to be disposed of, and we have Luke falling through the chute to be disposed of as well, but then ending up on this weird antenna.
At the end of Empire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
So I mean, there are visual nods to this. Very possibly these are intentional visual nods. And to be honest with you, like it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't bother me. But it
seems like it bothers you.
Well, okay, sorry to clarify.
It really bothers you.
From a narrative point of view, it doesn't bother me. But what does bother me is that for just a split second, I was taken out of the Whoniverse and introduced to the Star Wars universe, and I actually I was aware of a parallel, and it takes you out of it. It breaks the fourth wall in a little way. Like that's my problem with it.
Yeah, I get that. I have an itchy observation.
Okay.
Why did the TARDIS door close on Donna?
The TARDIS is alive and knows what's about to happen.
I know
It
is, but the Doctor then
it's a Deus Ex TARDIS.
It's a TARDIS Ex Machina.
That's what it is.
The Doctor specifically says at one point, why did the TARDIS door close? So, yes, the Doctor wants us, or RTD wants us to be thinking about this fact, presumably to provide us with an answer, and he just doesn't.
What, that the TARDIS is taking the initiative here?
Well, I suppose, but nobody then refers back to that and says, yes, that is what happened. It's more that all the timelines are converging on Donna, and there are ripples backwards, and that's why she's hearing heartbeats, but none of that explains why the TARDIS door closed.
Hang on, potential explanation / question about this whole thing. We do also find out in this episode that Dalek Khan, the precog testicle whom we have yet to address in this review, has meddled in Donna's life, her timeline. Could he somehow be doing this? Could he be closing the door?
Oh, because he's a double agent.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They did say it's not Dalek technology, so I don't know if that's to be trusted.
Yeah, but that's the Supreme Dalek saying, oh, well, I mean,
I guess they don't know.
Didn't close the door.
He's been meddling. Khan could do other things.
Yeah, exactly.
I go back to the TARDIS is conscious and the TARDIS intervenes when is necessary.
I think you're
right. Because there's another nod to it on the Bad Wolf scene when he says the universes are closing off. The TARDIS lets him know. The TARDIS is a little... And it's like, come on, Doctor, hurry it up. We need to get going. Like,
oh, yeah.
It talks to him, basically.
Wait, when?
On Bad Wolf Bay.
Yeah.
And then the TARDIS goes...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Makes
you're
a
right.
noise.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and he interprets it. He understands the TARDIS. He says, oh, that must mean the universes are closing off.
Yeah.
So there's already this little nod that it interacts with him and it has its own sort of consciousness.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't pick up on that.
Okay. I'm placated.
Good. Great.
Pleased to hear it. So if the Daleks destroy reality and the universe and whatnot, would they still remain?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Because I assume this is what you were referring to earlier, and I said I have a counter.
Oh, yeah.
No, because I thought the same.
Yes, it was actually, yeah.
I thought the same as you the first time round. I was like, well, if it's going to destroy all matter, then surely it will destroy them as well. How do they...
like the universe is destroyed.
And why is he so gleeful about, like, we're going to destroy everyone, including myself? Like, what? I didn't really understand the motivation. However, I think that they're in the Crucible and they're shooting the waves
the beam outward, yeah.
And so people that are inside will be saved. So maybe we can get all of the Daleks onto the Crucible.
Oh, imagine the aftermath. Like, let's say that they succeed. Yeah. They destroy everything. There is nothing real outside of the Crucible. All of reality. I'm assuming that this also includes destroying the vacuum of space.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they said the void is...
Everything is destroyed. Yeah. Nothing exists outside of the Crucible.
The void is dead.
If they do this, what happens afterwards? Mission accomplished, guys.
Yeah, what do we do now?
Now it's just us.
Eternity with just Daleks. Yeah.
Does anyone want to play a game?
Who's up for doubles tennis? What are they going to do now?
My whisk and my plunger are rubbish at charades. I've been playing this for 1,000 years.
Do you think that they then start building a new universe in its place?
Is it the Great British Bake Off? No, it's a whisk.
What happens at this point? What is the actual end game?
That's what I was really confused as to what his motivation was. It's like, I know that
to destroy all reality.
This is why I feel. Yeah, but this is why I feel that Davros is actually almost pranking the Daleks.
Yeah.
The Daleks think that there will be nothing but the Daleks left, but Davros actually thinks this is let's destroy everything, including us. Like there will be nothing.
You think?
Like I am destroying reality. I'm not destroying. It's not a universe. virus bomb. It's a reality bomb. I will destroy absolutely everything, and this will be, quote-unquote, my legacy, but it won't be because there's no one to remember it.
Yeah.
But everyone up until that point will know that I am the one that destroyed everything. Fuck, he's just like a skeleton attached to a half a Dalek. He doesn't want it. Like, why would he want to go on?
Kill everything.
I think so.
That's a very twisted motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's the
He's like a suicide bomber, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's basically
it
that.
is, on a grand scale, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the ultimate supervillain. For me, in this episode, this is just what I want out of a bad guy. I could...
Someone who has
barely-
nothing to lose, kind of bad guy?
Nothing to lose, nothing to gain, just the ultimate nihilist. You know,
Yeah.
I loved Davros in this episode. I'm going to come out and say it.
I love Davros.
I love Davros
Yeah.
as well.
His
Davros
voice.
did a fantastic... Oh, such a...
Incredible.
And the times where he's just... he gets so excited
Like
by...
manic laughter.
Yeah,
I just can't hide it, Doctor.
He does a fantastic job.
Yeah, he did.
Even when he, like, the tiny little... When he screams, for example, like, detonate the reality bomb! Like, oh my word. Like, wow. Exactly.
I was going to say that I think Davros, possibly, for me, is...
Steals the show.
Well, just as a villain in general, the two best villains, I think, to go one-to-one, toe-to-toe with the Doctor, are the Master and Davros. They bring the most complexity out of him. They get to pick apart his character and his soul and his motivations, but the Master is unpredictable. Davros is in a wheelchair. He has to command the screen. His encounters with the Doctor are necessarily more cerebral. And I just love all that.
Yeah, agreed. Oh wow, it just dawned on me. I bet, I don't know which ones or if, but I'm fairly certain that there is a serial in Classic Who where we get both.
Yeah.
And that must be just epic.
Ooh, I might join you for that.
Yeah, please do.
I mean, I'm going to regret it later, but I'm going to say now, I'm going to join you for that.
But yeah, the whole seeing into the Doctor's soul.
Yeah.
I did quite like that. The idea that he's surrounded himself with weapons. He's taken ordinary people and made them into murderers.
Yeah.
Look at them,
Like-
Doctor. Now all they like is big guns.
Yeah. And we've already addressed that they're quite poor weapons. They don't do anything very effectively. But yeah, the thing that he is constantly talking about, I am against this. We don't want violence. We don't want guns. And the first thing they all turn to is, like, let's destroy the planet.
What a hypocrite. The Doctor is in
hypocrite.
fact a massive dick.
Yeah, but he looked so broken when that was pointed out to him. He just looked like a broken man, and I felt incredibly sorry for him, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he obviously doesn't do any of it intentionally, but and they think that they're helping, but it goes against everything that he's ever said.
That's very good acting, by the way.
Yeah, I thought
Super
so.
good acting.
It was a really nice scene. Yeah.
And I find it much more compelling when instead of, hey Doctor, I've done a clever thing. Well, with all my Time Lord knowledge, I'll just do a cleverer thing.
Yeah.
That's not compelling like, Doctor, I am morally dismantling you. What are you going to do now?
Yeah. It's a big question. Yeah.
Hey, we love you, Deborah.
Segueing from that to the Doctor, I maybe having not a dark side, but maybe not necessarily being as good a guy as he's made out to be in the show. We have talked about the human Doctor, but we haven't really talked about the Dr. Donna. Just the way that the Doctor isn't necessarily doing the nicest thing to Rose. I mean, he doesn't give Rose a choice, right? He doesn't go, where do you want to go? Do you want to stay with this homicidal maniac or who's part me? Or do you want to stay with real me, whom you've dedicated the past few years of your life finding?
Yeah.
He also doesn't give a choice to the Dr. Donna. Like, I hate to use this.
The choice is that she's going to die. She wants to stay
Give
there.
her the choice. That's literally... Okay, here's what I've written. This is this morning's notes. I've written, crap, Doc just flat out brain rapes her. What the fuck? Why can't the Doctor give his exes a choice? Maybe Donna wanted to die naturally rather than have her mind wiped and her new personality sacrificed.
Yeah, I mean, could you soundbite the bit where she's saying, don't send me back there, don't make me go back?
I can't go back. Don't make me go back. Doctor. Please. Please don't make me go back.
Donna. Goodbye.
No, please. Please. No.
Oh my goodness, yeah. It's basically like the voicemail message in, what's that Michael Douglas, what's that? Oh shit, I'm sorry. The thing where he's,
Decent proposal? I mean,
no, the one Michael Douglas, he's accused of rape, but actually he's the one who was effectively raped by this woman. I can't remember who plays her. It's not Sharon
Basic
Stone.
Instinct?
No, it's not Basic Instinct. It's the other one that came right after, because that kind of cinema was
Fatal Attraction.
No, that's
if
John
it's
Malkovich.
none of those three, then we don't know what it is.
I'm out.
Dag nabbit. Anyway, there's a voicemail message there, and he wins because he says no like 50 million times.
Yeah.
Could she say no anymore? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
no.
if we do the soundbite, the next thing she would have said, probably if the doctor had given her a chance, would be, "I'd rather die."
I'd rather
exactly.
die with these memories.
Yeah. I mean, she has already, even though maybe it wasn't her choice to metamorphose into the Dr. Donna, she has done so. This is now the person that is. And by removing all of those memories and by, I don't really know what he does. Does he just wipe her memory?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, regardless, that's enough. By removing those memories, he is changing her personality, and de facto, this current iteration of Donna, i.e. the Dr. Donna, dies. Let her die the way that she wants to.
Because she knows exactly what he's thinking.
Yeah.
She knows what he's about to do, and she screams no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And she's already had the conversation with human Doctor, where he says, "All that lip covering your heart of gold of the universe."
Oh, break my heart.
Yeah.
I
And
really liked that.
so she knows exactly how far she's come and what she's going to go back to being.
Yeah.
And she would just rather not.
Yeah.
Sorry, in brackets.
Is it disclosure?
It is disclosure!
Hey.
Yeah.
It's all right on your screen.
And,
Never heard of it.
Really?
Great reference.
It's an okay.
Well, hang on. We haven't talked about how you reacted to the Dr. Donna.
Oh, yeah, no.
Are you doing your telenovela thing again? No.
No. We very recently, was it in Turn Left, we got Rose basically playing the Doctor.
yeah.
And I think we all loved it. I certainly loved it. I think it was very nice that Rose got the opportunity to be the Doctor.
Let the record show that I never said during that episode that I loved
I
it.
don't know if I did either, to be honest.
Oh, really? I quite liked it. And there's a point where she even does the Tennant voice. She goes, "Brilliant!" I can't do the Tennant voice. But yeah, I mean, she does it in a very Tennant-y way. I like that way more than I do Donna doing it. She does it well, but it doesn't work for me at all.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was nice.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
And I thought, especially because it came from the lovely scene where, like Drew just said, they're kind of explaining her temperament and all the things that have previously annoyed me. You then get this little bit of backstory, and it's like, oh.
Wait, backstory?
Like, well, when he says like,
The heart of gold.
like you're shouting, like,
all that lip.
shouting at the world because no one's listening, and it's she's putting on this front because she doesn't feel like she's worth listening to, and she keeps repeating, "I'm not special," and that always really annoyed me. She goes, "Oh, I'm just a temp from Chiswick." It's like, oh, get over it. Like, you understand, you're traveling with a doctor, that immediately makes you special. Like, nobody does this. But then when he gets into her brain and dissects it and says, "Oh, it's because you don't think you're worth it," and I immediately thought of her mother, and she just
Who has been implanting
constantly
this since
tells her
childhood,
since childhood
yeah.
that she's not worth it and
Yeah.
she's not special, and she believes it. To then have her have this moment where she is special, she does know these things, she's clever, she has thoughts that the Doctor has never had, she saves the day. I thought that was a really wonderful moment.
Yeah, and she's gleeful. She's thrilled by
it's
it.
really joyful. Like, she is the Doctor at his best, actually. She is just brimming with excellence and making us all get hyped up and excited with her.
Yeah.
I divide her Doctor performance into two groups.
Okay.
One is while she's saving the day,
Yeah.
which I hate.
Oh.
Which is the one where she actually, like, when she first turns into the Doctor, and she is conveniently standing right next to a set of switches
Yeah.
that resolve everything.
The switches I hate. Put this fucking big control pad in the middle that controls every Dalek.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just do
That's
that.
4
nonsense.
binary switches. So what? That's a maximum of 16 combinations?
Not
And that
just
controls
controlling
everything.
Daleks, controlling Davros, controlling the big Death Star, controlling everything.
I'm spinning around. Get out of my way.
Yeah, that was quite terrible.
Pretty terrible.
But
I
she
think,
was good in that scene.
Oh, that's where I
thought.
disagree.
Yeah.
I think she is terrible in that. I mean, she does a good job of impersonating Tennant, but the thing is that ending would be bad even if that were Tennant.
Yeah, no, I agree.
If that were human Doctor, I would still hate that bit.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's her standing there, and consequently, I am, projecting all of my hatred of the scene onto her.
Yeah.
But then part 2 of her is when she's in the TARDIS afterwards, and she's, for lack of a better word, malfunctioning.
Yeah.
And that part I love.
Yeah.
Nice, yes.
Yeah, I think she does a very good job of all of a sudden, like, she's realizing that she's losing control, but she wants to hide it because she wants to carry on the adventure.
Yeah.
And being the doctor in that scene, she does a splendid job.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's vulnerable. She's agonized.
Yeah.
Her
And
face,
she's hiding it. That's the bit.
Yeah.
That's the best bit, I think.
But at the very end as well, when he is brain wiping her, her face was so moving, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
She can, as we have over this series come to appreciate, she can act.
She can act.
Yes, she absolutely can act. But unfortunately, this character, even when it is part-time Lord, is not incredibly well written. Certainly not all of the time. I think that's the problem. That's the issue that I have with that. There's one line. I'm gonna soundbite this. When they are all in the TARDIS. Did you like the scene, by the way?
I loved the scene.
Everyone has to collaborate to pull levers and
I thought
push
that was
buttons.
Wonderful. Yeah.
It is sweet, right?
And the music was just like, everything was so uplifting. It was like, this is what it should be to travel in the TARDIS.
Such a feel-good moment.
I wanted to be there with them. That was amazing.
Yeah, agreed.
But there is one bit where she's walking around and she's now, it's like being part-time Lord has gotten to her head, and she says,
That's really good, Jack. I think you're the best.
and my note for that is, soundbite 4740, shut up, Donna. No.
But she has all of the Doctor's memories and all of his knowledge and all of his everything.
Yeah, maybe she knows more about Jack than we know she knows about Jack with those extra memories.
Maybe. Yeah, actually, maybe.
I mean, I was looking at Jack early in the
Have Jack and the Doc ever done anything?
I don't know. But I was looking at Jack right at the beginning of the episode when he was sort of grimacing, wincing at how bad the regeneration fudge was. And I was thinking, maybe he's seen more than one. Maybe he saw, I don't know, Hurt become Eccleston or something. I mean, Jack's been around and about.
Jack's been spoilers
Face
for
of both.
future episodes, but he's been there the entire time. Well,
has he been aware of everything
not in
as
the past,
the face?
But in all the future Doctors that we have yet to meet, he's been around.
Wait, as the face or as
the
Jack?
Face of Bo. Well, I don't know. We don't really know how he becomes the Face of Bo, but
He becomes the Face of Bo because he's now uneternal. He is.
yeah.
He's just going to continue to evolve as a singular person, and he evolves into a huge head. If you've been alive for 1,000,000 years, this is what happens. You become a huge head.
Yeah.
Because he's going through the whole universe saying, gimme head, gimme head, gimme head, and eventually his own biology starts to misinterpret that message. Just makes him one.
Yeah.
And he meets his other friend with different proclivities who's just a massive hand.
Yeah, so maybe Jack's seen future generations. We don't
Very
know.
possibly.
Yeah.
Very, very possibly. Another question. Does Jackie say that she has a baby, that she had a new baby called Tony?
Yeah, Tony. Little Tony. Sarah Jane had a baby at like 50. So.
Excuse me, an alien / supercomputer baby that was born through sci-fi ways.
There's a long story there. How old is Jackie? It's not impossible.
Rose is, as we've established, pretty young when she comes along. I reckon Jackie is barely over 40.
And I think, Jackie probably had Rose quite young as well. They're in a parallel universe. You don't know what their technology is.
Identical to ours, surely. Oh, no,
Why?
you're right, because they have the weird cyber Bluetooth stuff, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Zeppelins.
Zeppelins. Let's not forget the Zeppelins. Yeah, okay. Cool. All right. Cool.
I have a question. At the end, when they're all leaving the TARDIS, Jack and Martha go off holding hands.
Oh, you're right.
Is that necessary?
I noticed that as well. Does that mean something?
It's a bit awkward. I don't know. Have they met before?
I think they've met. I don't remember. Have they?
Well, she knows to call him up at Torchwood. They must be aware of each other's organisations at the very least.
Have they met on Doctor Who? I'm not talking Torchwood, not talking anything else.
So did Jack appear in Series 3, we're asking?
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember. Here's another thing as well. When they're walking away holding hands, he says something like, I bet we can find a job for you. Is that referencing, I assume that's referencing some spin-off stuff.
Torchwood,
yeah, exactly. I don't remember her being on Torchwood at all.
I don't know. I didn't watch it till the end.
Yeah. I think it's more than possible though. What is the episode where Jack is put in the radiation suit and he should be dissolved, made into Jack confetti?
Isn't that one of the Bad Wolf ones?
Oh, is that like Army of Ghosts or something?
The Parting of the Ways and something else.
Oh,
Isn't that
yeah,
one
I
of
watched
those?
that out of order. Cut this bit. I did. I watched that out of order. order.
No.
I still haven't seen Girl in the Fireplace.
Really? Oh, watch it. It's a good episode.
Ooh, it's a great episode.
Yeah, it's good.
Because we're going to be doing the Tennant retrospective. I'm going to have to catch up.
Yeah, you will. Oh my goodness. That is coming up. That's really coming up. Oh, wow. Anything else?
We haven't talked about all the goodbyes. There were so many goodbyes. It was like Return of the King times 10. Who got the best goodbye? There's only one in my mind.
Wilf?
Wilf!
It has to be Wilf.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
Wilf.
for 55 minutes, I was thinking, all Cribbins is doing is reacting. Where is the Cribbins? Cribbins at the death comes in and saves this
that
show.
was
Yeah,
nice
100%.
moment. Yeah.
Oh, I love Wilf so much.
Oh, God, yeah.
Will he return again? I'm assuming that he's returning at the end of time.
Yeah.
I don't think after that, though.
At the very least for a cameo.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Well, not since it aired. I haven't rewatched it since then.
You don't remember?
I don't remember. Oh, I'm looking for it.
Okay, I have a question about Donna's goodbye.
Okay.
So, the whole premise is her memory has been wiped. Don't mention anything, because if you mention something, it will spark a memory, and she will burn up, and she will die, and it's terrible. Okay. And then the doctor is like, I'm just gonna pop and say goodbye. Bye, Donna, that you've never met me before, and maybe this space that you've traveled with for
Might
a really
spark a
long
memory.
time might be a visual memory. I don't know. We don't think that's dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, your head could literally explode.
Yeah.
If I do this for a few more seconds. Is it gonna? Donna, is it gonna?
Does she return in End of Time?
Don't think so.
Alright, so the reason she doesn't return is because her head has exploded. In the meantime, that's what happens, surely. Oh, I know why you're bringing this up. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
No sense whatsoever.
Yeah. It's just sentimentality pushed to the limit, which is probably at the heart of a lot of the weakness of this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, Cribbins, I mean, it's sentimental, but he's got the stature to hold that on his broad acting shoulders.
He's got the weepy eyes.
Yeah, the devastated, ravaged look on his face. Instead of making it mawkish, it becomes simple and effective and
It
genuine.
is a really heartbreaking thing, though. It's like you had this connection with your granddaughter that nobody else understood. The mother was out of the loop. They had bonded in a way
you're
that they
so
never
right.
had before. And now suddenly she has gone. Like, that version of Donna is dead.
You're so right. And now he it's not just Donna that needs to start from scratch. He needs to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
That brings a whole new dimension to when the stars come out at night, I'll be looking up. Not we'll be looking up.
No.
And you know that he's going to be there every night, just as he was before with his telescope.
On his own.
And he's not going to see... The Doctor's not going to show up every single night, unless at one point he had a few too many, I don't know, margaritas and just went like, fuck it, I'm just going to do Will for solid. I'm just going to whiz by once a day. For the next however many years Wilf is around, I'm sure the Doctor knows, and then that's it. Like maybe he did do that. Yeah.
But just to completely negate that good bit, there was a crappy sentimental bit where the Doctor's sitting, talking to Mum and Cribbins, saying people will be singing songs about Donna Noble. Who the hell knows?
No one is singing songs
Who knows
that.
about Donna Noble? No one.
I'm glad you agree.
No.
Somewhere in outer space, there's like an ood or whatever going, what rhymes with Donna Noble? Nothing? Oh, fuck it then.
Hopeful? Maybe?
Donna Noble, hopeful? Oh, wow.
We were
that
saved
is
by Donna Noble so that we could remain hopeful. I don't know.
No, the ood are against that.
Don't like half rhymes.
Have we even brought up K9?
Yeah, briefly.
I'm glad that he appeared.
Well, after what we said last week.
Well, yeah, I mean, we said last week we want K9, we got K9.
We did.
So
They
there you
listened.
go.
That felt like fan service, but it was good fan service.
Oh, when we are towing the Earth.
Oh, why doesn't the whole Earth, like, they arrive in our solar system and the Earth is just like this charred lump of coal, everyone is dead.
Everybody's smushed to smithereens.
No. There was a little bit of atmospheric disturbance.
There was.
What?
Other picture frames were slightly askew.
There's still sunlight while they are traveling, weirdly.
Yeah. And how is the moon still there? Would the moon not have like flung off into?
Oh, no.
Yeah, into the asteroid belt
Yeah.
or something.
It's just like, why are people still able to make phone calls after the Earth has been moved in part 1? Like, did they move all the satellites as well? Like, does that work? Oh, no.
I feel like there could be a really good XKCD what if article written on this one scene. And how it was entirely wrong. I mean, do you read those?
Yeah.
So it's like essentially what would happen if a bee the size of a planet flew into the solar system, and every week the Earth ends up being utterly destroyed. And that would have exactly happened here. The leading edge of the Earth would have vaporized, and the back half would have frozen, and the atmosphere would have been stripped instantly, not just disturbed.
Yeah, you're right.
Or he should have created a time bubble around it so that they all just flew peacefully. And
then they could have involved a bit more of Torchwood.
Yeah.
Because actually, they were completely...
They were completely useless.
Yeah, absolutely. We had Chekhov's time lock.
Yeah.
Why not then actually use it on a planet-wide scale?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They missed a trick.
Yeah, and another trick they missed. Last week, we were like, oh, okay, they've completely ruined the idea of the Shadow Proclamation, but maybe this week they'll come back and be useful.
Oh my God, you're so right! There's no Shadow Proclamation!
At all! Utterly wasted! No universe's armies led into battle, just a shot bolt.
Would we, I mean, can we imagine that maybe there's a post-credit sequence where the Shadow Proclamation with a bunch of Jadoon just arrive in empty space and they're
Too
like,
late.
Wait, what? Where is everyone?
And then they get attacked by 1 trillion bees.
Ooh. Very Black Mirror.
One more soundbite, maybe? Where Davros refers to Rose and says,
She is mine, to do as I please.
as opposed to do with as I please.
Oh, to do as I please.
This metal hand just doesn't cut it anymore. I need to feel human flesh.
Oh, God.
Shall we jump into ratings?
And now it is time to rate this.
Did we love or hate this?
Bing bong, hey, la 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 la.
Ratings. Shall I start?
You should start.
I'm going to be controversial.
Oh my goodness.
I liked much more than I disliked in this episode, especially Davros. There was a lot of crap. The anticlimax, the whole not dead prophecy business.
You said business like you were giving the word the business.
But apart from Rose, I thought all the main characters put in a better showing this week. I liked Dalek Khan's treachery. No Luke. Tate Swansong. Cribbins at the death. 3.1.
Oh, wow. Interesting. You're raising this up to my score for part 1.
I like this more than part 1.
I don't. Do you want to carry on?
No, you go.
Shall I?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm not entirely... You know what? I'm just going to reverse things. So, I don't like this as much as I did part 1. I thought part 1 set up a lot of potential, and unfortunately most of that potential was squandered in part 2. I don't like the editing. I don't like the sub-companion, sub-narrative thingy. I just felt like it was very lazy in terms of its concluding of plots, so that we have so many Deus Ex Machina. How often can you just whip out something out of nothing and just like, oh, fuck it, well, we solved it through this? No, I didn't really like it in that sense. Good fan service, though, and as I said, not at first, but in the end, a very solid performance from Donna. I'm giving this a 2.8. There you go.
There's bugger all difference there.
I know, but fuck it, I mean, there's a symbolic difference. We've reversed scores.
Is it possible? Is it possible for something to be a terrible episode but really good TV?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because I think that's what happened here.
I think that probably is what happened.
Very
here.
possibly.
Yeah.
We have reviewed episodes and serials on Who Back When that we have given like 0.1. Or at the very least 0.3. I think that was the edge of discretion. And even that is good TV, you know. No, absolutely, yeah. It holds up as a terrible episode. Your turn. Go for it.
Okay, I think I'm more aligned with Leon's views.
Did you hear that, Drew?
Oh, big surprise. It's been Donna hatred all series.
No, but I really like Donna in this episode, and I'm really torn because I think most of the way through I was going, what? Like, why have you done that? They did just pull things out of the air to solve problems, which I hate, and most of the way through was annoyed by it. But I thought there were some really like heartfelt resolutions, and it broke my heart when Donna dies. I'm doing air quotes now, you can't see, but and Wilf's reaction, and even Rose on Bad Wolf Bay, it broke my heart again. Like when she says, "This is the worst day of my life. What did you say to me?" And I felt that, like, that was the worst day of her life. That was really tragic. And so I had a lot of feels towards the end. And so I think I'd originally started very low, but it got pulled up. So I think, but still less than last week, I think, overall.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm going to go for like a 2.4.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. But not because of Donna. Donna brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Wilf.
It was originally like a 1.7. Yeah. Donna saved the day. Yay, Donna.
Donna saved the day.
Yeah, Donna. It's a shame she's gone.
Oh, what a shame.
Hang on.
I don't think so.
This is the end of the series. This is the end of the series. We need to say something about the series overall.
That's true. We haven't really said anything. Well, I mean, about Donna, really. That's the only thing that's going to change going forward, isn't it? We're going to have a few episodes of just Tennants.
Having a stable companion, I guess. Because as I remember, a lot of the next ones are about him being lonely.
Yeah, we have one night stand with Tennants.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you go on to whobackwhen.com/statistics, you will find that I gave every single episode in this series higher than a 2.5. So better than average, essentially, for me. And I said this at the beginning when we did Partners in Crime. IMDb rates all these episodes fairly highly. For me, that stood up. I reckon this series is well above average. What do you guys think?
I don't know about that, but I've just remembered a little thing that I meant to say that does link on to the specials. When we were talking about everybody in the TARDIS and flying it with 6 people and how joyful that scene was, I think that really sets it up for the next bit, because it is about him being lonely again and him not having a companion, and he's on his own for the next year and a half or however long the specials go on for. I don't know what my point was.
I think you made it pretty well.
Good, thanks. But yeah, I really like that juxtaposition, and then him in the rain being sad.
Yeah, and they dwell on that at the end.
Yeah.
Because we've had, in previous ones, the Doctor, when he first said goodbye to Rose, was on his own for all of 5 seconds, and then suddenly Kylie's ship, the bow,
just
blasts in through the side of the TARDIS. In this one, you almost expect that to happen again, but no, you're just left looking at him being utterly alone.
Yeah.
That's very true. I think this series has probably been very good. So if we look at, I've just pulled up series 4 of New Who on TARDIS Wikia, and we have, not counting Voyage of the Damned, and not counting Time Crash, which we didn't even review, by the way.
What's Time Crash?
It's the one where the 5th Doctor shows up. It's like a 5-minute short. I think it was for Red Nose Day. We have Partners in Crime, Fires of Pompeii, Planet of the Ood, Sontaran Stratagem, and Poison Sky, which I think we quite enjoyed.
Yep.
The Doctor's Daughter, Unicorn and the Wasp, Silence in the Library,
Here's
Forest
where
of the
it
Dead.
gets good.
Exactly. Yeah, Unicorn and the Wasp, Silence in the Library, Forest of the Dead, Midnight, Turn Left, and this.
I can't believe you're including Unicorn and the Wasp in with that. No, that was a terrible one. Then on it got better. Then on it got better.
I can't remember what I gave Unicorn and the Wasp.
But I love... So
it's actually not a great one.
No.
But Silence in the Library and onwards.
Silence of the Library is phenomenal.
That's pretty amazing,
The introduction
right?
of River we get in this series.
So yeah, compare that to Series 3, where we were in the middle of an enormous drought and we were just pleading for one good episode to come along, and we were convinced RTD had lost his mojo. But he's entirely got it back in this series.
Absolutely. This is, I believe you could say this is not just good Doctor Who. This is good television. This is fantastic TV being created.
Yes.
Oh.
You could introduce as you keep saying, about doing a special episode. How would you bring a newbie into watching Doctor Who?
Yeah.
You would choose some episodes from this series, definitely.
Oh, absolutely. Not this one, though. Let's just clarify.
Yeah, this would make no sense to a non-listener.
Not even this double feature.
Yeah.
Shall we call it a day and jump into Listener Minis?
Let's.
Listener Minis.
And we have a Listener Mini.
Really? Who's it from?
Tracy from America, New York City, Pittsburgh, PA.
Hello, Tracy.
Atlanta.
Hi, Tracy.
Got America Tourette's.
It's just James Brown.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, Tracy here. We waited all summer to see if that blast did anything to the Borg ship and if Picard is dead. I mean to see who Tennant regenerates into. Oh, he doesn't. Crossover characters are dropped safely into a time lock, and Luke is guarded by Mr. Smith. Let's focus on the folks we know.
Donna gets trapped in the TARDIS as the Daleks are going to use it to replenish their ZPM or whatever. ZPM?
Zaps per minute.
Zappy plunger mechanism.
Zebra penile mechanism.
Zebra penile malfunction.
And when, OMG, I legit forgot we had double Tennant. While this is great, it doesn't explore the twice-person trope very far. For an in-depth exploration of the twice-person trope, watch Farscape. Go do it. Now. Seriously.
Or at least watch the Star Trek TNG episode where Riker meets Riker.
Oh, ooh, that's a nice one. Donna touches the creepy severed hand so Human Doc and Dr. Donna can save the day. Yay! Everyone on Earth is okay, except for the people who the Daleks vaporized. And people with severed spines from the turbulent return flights.
Now the ending. Oh boy. Rose gets a guy who looks like the Doctor with Doctor memories, but who still clearly isn't. It could have been interesting to leave her Doctor there and have Human Doc stay in our universe.
Ooh.
Perhaps he could magically take the Time Lord part back from Donna. Instead, Donna starts unraveling. She'll die if all those memories stay in her mind. To fix this, Doc mind rapes her as she says no repeatedly.
Yeah. And she gives it a rating of...
Just have her say, I understand I'll miss you. God damn.
Yeah. Those are really good retro rewrite suggestions. I mean, especially the whole, like, why can't he... If they can use a wibbly-wobbly to put a little bit of Doc in Donna, not so little, it was a cold day. Then why can't they use a little bit of wibbly-wobbly to take it back and put it in him and then have two time... Yeah, well, no, very good idea. Super good idea, Tracy.
You know what this got me thinking about earlier in this episode is, what if there are identical twins on Gallifrey, i.e. bio-matching receptacles? That if one of them is in peril and the second is on hand, he just goes, zap, oh wait, I'm me again, and the other one is just a bit, peppy for a while.
Yeah.
They can just live forever.
Bingo bongo. Yeah.
Bullshit.
All that to say, thank you so much for sending in your mini, Tracy. If you want to follow Tracy on Twitter, you can. She is at
Nuff. That's Fountain Tracy backwards.
High five. Nice.
You guys.
I think that's it for this episode, is it?
Yeah. I think they've heard enough.
I think so too. Thank you so much for listening. Quick heads up. Alas, next week we won't be dropping an episode because...
Not even the cannibalists!
No, you're, sorry, Podcast Land. The Cannibalists will not drop next week. Sorry, I'm out of town. However, next time we drop a review, if it's a classic, it will be of The Mind of Evil. The next time we drop a new Who review, it will be of
The Next Doctor.
And I've already said what I need to say.
Until then, you can say hello to us online. Drew, you're on Twitter, right?
Indeed. I basically am Twitter. I'm at Drew Back When.
Twitter's going through some rebranding stuff.
Yeah, me, Donald Trump, and some, extras.
Marie, unfortunately, is not on Twitter. I say unfortunately, not a problem, because you can totally contact her by emailing whobackwhen@gmail.com and just leaving her a comment or a question or a high five in email form. You can also high five me online. I am at Ponken. You know how to spell that? Weird. Until the next time, be rad and excellent to each other. Rock on and ciao.
Bye.
Doodles.
Kablamo! Did you enjoy the show? Then please do what the cosmos compels you to and spread the gospel of Who Back When. Tell your friends. Don't have any friends? No problemo. Tell some strangers. Like us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Who Back When. All in one word. Are you on Google Plus? Then find us on Google Plus. That's plus Who Back When. And when you do, tell us why you're on Google Plus. Who Back When just got its very own Twitter account. No lie. So give us a follow. You guessed it. That's @WhoBackWhen. All in one word. Check us out on SoundCloud, vote us up on Reddit, listen to us on Stitcher, and head on over to our website, whobackwhen.com, where you can leave a comment, submit a review of your own, and peruse of visual index of aliens, monsters, and more, which increases in kablamos with every episode. And lastly, give us a rating and review on iTunes. Not only would it make us super chuffed, and it really, really would, but as thanks, we will transmigrate your iTunes nom de plume into the credit list of trailers for fake Doctor Who audiobooks produced by Who Back When. Have a poke around our bonus episodes to make more sense of that. That's it. Rock on and be rad and excellent to each other. Catch your earballs in our next classic Who review, new Who review, or, still funny, audio Who review. Ciao.
Who Back When?